Iain Abernethy put out a video recently talking about how he doesn't even know what style he does anymore, right? It's all karate to him, and he brought up some good points, quotes from some of the old karate masters and whatnot, and it reminded me of something that. It reminded me of something that I believe I heard Joe Rogan say, but honestly, I'm having trouble tracking down the quote. So if you can find the quote, post it in the comments. That would be great. But it's one of the few times that I actually agreed with Joe Rogan, assuming it was him, which is to say that the idea is that, like, because the cover's been blown wide off, not just because of MMA, but because of uh, because of the internet and the connection, the globalization of the martial arts, and how everything is transcending borders, that people will eventually kind of stop practicing styles the way that we think about styles now, and just start practicing martial arts, which in many ways is just the way it was before. It was more like you come from this school, not you practice this style. And whether or not that is going to become an actual tangible reality is one thing, but it's kind of the dream, right? Yeah, of course, there's a feather to stick in your cap when gotten your black belt or equivalent or instructor rank or whatever in a style that you've legitimately practiced and put the time in and all of that, and that is great. But one of the things that we've gotten past and seem to be coming back around to is that it's no longer good enough just to have the proxy of the belt or the certificate, right? And you need to have the experience. You need to be able to cash the check with your ass, so to say. And that is one of the things that I think that Joe Rogan was talking about. It's one of the things that it seems, in a sense, that Iain Abernethy was pushing forth, and it's not like these are the only two saying it, but I mean, it's the reason that we practice Wing Chun the way we do in our school and everything, right? If there's not a practical focus on a practical skill, then it is no longer practical. We need to make things practical, and so in a real sense, I dream of a world where it's not about this style or that style, or even did you come from this school or did you come from that school. What I care about is, can you perform when it's time to be called to task? I mean, at the end of the day, aren't we all just kind of trying to get good at fist fighting? Maybe in some cases, just the grappling, maybe in some cases, just the weapons. But a lot of us are kind of doing a little bit of it all. And does it matter where it was tested? I mean, you can't fight everybody. You can't. And, you can't, you can never say this is the best or this person is the best. Those are just not things that can actually legitimately be stated. But we need to get back to a place where we are proving things with our actual skills. And because life is no longer manual military action, signing for the military cannot guarantee that you will be a good fighter. Signing up for the police or security cannot guarantee that you will be a good fighter. Becoming a bouncer or a corrections officer cannot guarantee you will be a good fighter, though you might actually get more experience there than you would in the military. And then on top of that, unless you are committed to criminal action, which I cannot recommend at all, the only outlet that we have left legally, really, to determine how good you are at fighting is the sport outlet. And this is something that I think is actually very, very incredibly important. And I'll probably do a separate video on it at some point. Maybe not. Maybe I'll say enough here. But as life gets more peaceful, our DNA isn't changing fast enough to keep up with all the technology. And we're still kind of running around with caveman DNA, and our caveman DNA really, really likes to fight and be territorial and protect our resources and all. And so it's actually really important for us to have outlets to kind of diffuse that, and sport is one of the best outlets for that. It gives us something to do to blow off the energy. So we definitely need to be promoting sport in a healthy way, and maybe not the way that the UFC is doing it, because they're really kind of turning it into the WWE, and that's not what we want. But we do need the sport. It is important. So, again, coming back around full circle, what are we really talking about here? We are talking about, let's get past the styles, let's get past the this and that, and let's get down to the fact that we're just practicing to be good at martial arts. It's about the one thing I can say I agree with Joe Rogan on. I'll talk to you guys later. Journey. Hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, do all the other social media stuff. You can check out our other socials, as well as take a look at some of the merchandise that we have for offer in the links below. And if you happen to be in the Phoenix metro area, stop in, come in for a class, come in just to say hi. We'd love to meet you. Until next time, good journey.